I am.
Just sit here and relax. Trust that God's got it. I'm gonna do something different.
And success. I am ready for love, happiness, and success. I am ready for love, happiness, and success. I am self assured. I am self-assured. I am self-approved. I am self-approved. I am whole just as I am. I am whole just as I am. I am enough. I am enough. I am self-aware. I am self-aware. I am my biggest source of strength. I am my biggest source of strength. I am my biggest source of love. I am my biggest source of love.
We'll be starting in just
Go
a
ahead.
beautiful people.
What
I
did I ask you to do?
belong to
I'm
myself.
finna turn the TV off.
In the meantime, take a moment to
I
breathe
am kind to myself.
and practice being kind to yourself. Take a moment to just be here.
I am my own hero. I am my own hero. I am the architect of my life.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
I am the architect.
So, hello, beautiful people. I wanted to just say thank you for taking the time to come out tonight and be here, and thank you for your patience as well because I sent the link out late, but you made it. So, thank you. And the first thing that I want to do is just allow you to be here in this moment. I know for a lot of you, you just got through with a long day of work, or maybe you spent time with children, or whatever you did that might have you depleted. We're gonna just breathe that out. And then whatever you might do after our session together, whether that's for me, it's tend to my children, maybe that's for you as well. And we're going to breathe that out as well. I am gonna ask everybody to mute yourself so we can have a clean recording. So during this time, I invite you to take one hand and put it over your heart and put another hand over your gut. We're gonna take 4 deep breaths together. So we're gonna breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and breathe out for a count of 8. We're gonna do that again and pay attention to what's supporting you right now. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. Again, breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. Last one, make it count. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 7. Exhale for a count of 8. I invite you to write in the chat how you are feeling after taking a couple moments to ground yourself. So how are you feeling after taking a couple moments to ground yourself? I invite you to write in the chat. I can get that started. I love breathing, y'all. I love breathing. So I feel grounded. I'm hoping that y'all feel some version of grounded or calm. I don't know if you take the time to take a deep breath during the day, but that is an easy way to give yourself some self-care and some self-love. So again, I invite you in the chat to write, yes, how it felt to take a couple of deep breaths. Notice my chest needs more breath. Yes, something that we can subconsciously do is do a lot of shallow breathing where you're kind of breathing up in your chest and you really need to be more in your belly. When you do that shallow breathing, it amplifies anxiety, it attracts anxiety, it puts your body in a state where it thinks there's something to be anxious about. So you can just calm yourself just by doing some breathing, centered and calm. Yes, absolutely, right? Self-aware. Oh, good to see all y'all. Let me shout out your names. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Audra. Thank you, wait, I know your name. Takaya. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Queen. I do know your name. Ebony, thank you as well. And Jacqueline. Oh yeah, there you are again. All right. You can always take a deep breath, y'all. You can always take a deep breath. I'm an educator for those of you who know a little bit about me. And I used to be afraid to just stop and take a deep breath. Like, I'm gonna take a deep breath and they're gonna burn the classroom down in a couple seconds, my eyes are closed, right? But as I progressed through my career, I started to be somebody who would take deep breaths. And my students would know I was getting irritated because they'd be like, oh, she breathing, because I'd be like, right? These kids don't mean to work my last nerve, Lord. Like, I know they just young, right? And so they would see me breathing and they would know, I need to relax. So I want to just thank all of you for taking the time out to be here, not just for this class, but for yourself. I'm really big on Black women choosing themselves. And I'm grateful no matter who shows up. I'm grateful even if no one shows up. And part of something I do as far as self-care and self-love is gratitude. Being able to serve in your purpose, being able to even have the technology to record something that can go out to anywhere in the world, to be able to just serve in my gifts, whether anybody shows up, is a gift. And for those of us who are, of the enslaved, our ancestors didn't get to do this. They didn't even get to dream or pretend to do this. So I'm always honored when I get to serve in my purpose, whether it's 7 people, whether it's 70 people, whether it's nobody. I'll make the recording and put it out there anyway, right? So that's another way that we can give thanks. So let me just get right into it, Queens. You're in the right place. You will walk away feeling uplifted, and I have gifts for you. Oh, you can't see that, can you? I have gifts for you for coming out, so you will be blessed today. Today's a good day for y'all. So in the chat, if you don't mind sharing, where you at? Where are you viewing this from? So I'm in San Jose, California, Silicon Valley. That's where I'm at. Where are you at? Love to know. Okay, yes, Oakland. I know you're in Oakland. ATL. Okay, Georgia. San Jose. What's up, San Jose? Wisconsin, DC. All right, from the NYC, right? Don't get it twisted. Right, represent. I heard that. Nice. South Florida. Where can you find my recordings? We will talk about that, Ebony. Which recordings do you talk? I don't know which. I have a lot of recordings. I have a YouTube channel. I have recordings available. So we will talk about that, Ebony. But good to see all of y'all. I'm glad you came out. Be as comfortable as you want to, right? So if you want to keep your screen off, do you, boo. If you want to turn your screen on, you're welcome to do that as well. Make yourself at home. I really like to create Black space and spaces that are really comfortable for Black women. So I have queens talk to me in their bonnets, like talk to me with half their hair unbraided. Like, this is your space, queen. So be at ease when you're in my space. So this was our moment to breathe, but this is a nice little reminder, y'all. This is a lot. This is a real picture, right, of me in one of my goddess baths. Pamper yourself. Buy yourself some roses and then rip their heads off and throw them in your bathtub. You know what I mean? Pour some nice oat milk up in there, some honey, right? Your crystals, your bath. Like, take time to really pamper yourself. You deserve it. So that was our time to breathe, but we already done some breathing. If you don't know who I am, right? Who is this SharlaStevens and the ancestors? I'm gonna give you the spiel we give out to the world, and then I'm gonna tell you the real deal about who I am, right? First of all, I'm the daughter of Steve Stevens and SharlaStevens. What's funny about that is my dad's real name is Willard. He changed his name to Steve, knowing his last name was Stevens. So anyway, Steve Stevens was a 5'4", dark-skinned man from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and he was born in 1934. He was an Aries. I'm an Aries too. You can't tell Aries nothing. So when people try to tell him, you know, the world is racist and you're not going to be able to do what you want to do, my dad wasn't trying to listen to nobody. So he grew up in an abusive. His stepfather was an alcoholic. He was abusive. And I believe that he was trying to self-medicate because, you know, racism. Anyway, he was the oldest of 6 children. He went to Stanford University, and he was the 3rd Black man that the racists at Stanford University allowed to become a public defender. And he was the 1st Black man that the racists in Santa Clara County allowed to become public defender. So he got his law school degree from Stanford, and then he became a public defender in Santa Clara County. And he was dedicated to making sure that Black and brown people's rights were protected. So that's my daddy. My mom is from East Oakland, and she was in another abusive alcoholic family. And she levied her education on to create change. So she got 2 master's degrees from UC Berkeley. She was a powerhouse in social services. She worked with created juvenile justice. She worked at the Department of Aging, CalWorks, etc. So all that to say, I come from freedom fighters. I come from people who are about social justice, social change, and that's what I'm about. I did the same thing in the schools. So I was a former high school and middle school teacher after surviving my own white supremacist, you know, upbringing in these schools where I barely graduated high school and I failed in college. I then wanted to go back and help other Black and brown kids who I knew were falling through the cracks. I taught social science. The curriculum was super racist. And so then I started to create my own anti-racist consulting business because I wanted to make sure that people's needs or the kids were being taken care of, right? And I knew that a lot of these schools were not taking good care of these kids or training the staff to take good care of our kids. That business, that was my first business last year, and that grew to 6 figures in 10 months. I had over $200,000 in new contracts in my first year. I actually walked away from this money because they weren't really trying to change. And I'm really big on only doing work I love. I do not work for money if I don't like it. And that's because I can do that to have my own business. So if I don't like it, if you some Nazis, you got to go, okay? So I grew my LinkedIn following to over 13,000 in 2 years. I was a LinkedIn Black voice to follow in 2020. Some of my past clients include San Francisco Unified School District, San Ramon Valley Unified School District, St. Cloud University, Upward Bound, Peace and Justice Center. I've been featured on over 15 podcasts, including Ebony's Black Power Moves, the special report with Ariva Martin, Dr. Sharon Show, Black Mental Health Matters, and more. I'm a Howard University graduate. I heard some of y'all are from DC or from the DMV. Hey, go Bison. Graduated summa cum laude. So again, barely graduated high school, but killed it in college. That don't add up. And I'm a divorced mother of 2 elementary school children. So I put too much animation on this. Now, what I don't tell you on this is that I'm also somebody who lives with bipolar depression. And I share that because part of where this whole thing came out, this whole self-love came from, was the trenches, was for me being suicidal depressed all of the month of December, and then deciding that I'm going to live from being depressed. I then created this class because I thought about how many other Black women are out there who really need to pour more love into themselves and really don't understand that their lifestyle will kill them. So I'm going to stop for just a moment. Again, if you can mute yourself, that'd be very helpful because I'm trying to make sure that everybody has a clean recording when we are able to share this with others. And all the people who just came in, thank you, welcome. Good to see all of you. So some of my past clients and media appearances include everything you see here. So again, Better Leaders, Better Schools, Special Report with Ariva Martin, San Francisco Unified School District. I was featured on Ebony's podcast, Trio, etc. And Black Mental Health Matters. I'm big about mental health. because I'm somebody who suffers with mental health issues, and many of us do. I'm sure that some of you here are here because you suffer with mental health issues. How I can help you. So we're going to talk about self-love, and part of the issue for some of you is that your job is not conducive to you taking care of yourself or to you loving yourself. Your job is making you sick, or the way that you have to expose yourself to toxic people is not good for you. So if you're interested in creating a work from home online coaching or consulting business shaped around your mental health and self-care, that's what I do. That's what I have. That's why I'm well, is because that's what I've done for myself. I can help you develop a daily self-care practice to sustain you and help you thrive in your life. So not self-care Sunday, y'all. Self-care every day. Every day you need to be taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself, because the assault on us is 24/7. Increase your sense of self-confidence, your self-appreciation, and your value and your worth, so you can stand in your power, command your wealth, and live your life on your terms. It's too short. Life is too short for us to be living on anybody else's terms but ours. And the whole martyr thing that happens with Black women, where we feel like we have to sacrifice everything for everybody, is tired, and it's killing us, and I'm not with it. So I fully support you getting everything you deserve and being the queen that you deserve and living on your terms. And you really can be a better person when you do that. I'm a better mom. I could drag my kids in here right now. They'll co-sign on this. I'm a better mom because I'm pouring into myself and I'm taking care of me. Whereas before, when I was tired and grouchy and uptight and scared about money, I'm snapping at the kids. I'm frustrated with them. No, I don't care about your Pokemon. No, I don't want to get you applesauce. Get out my face. That was me, unfortunately, because I wasn't well. Now that I'm well, I'm a better mom. I'm a better person. Learn how to scale your online business to 6 figures and beyond, so you can only work 3 days a week and have the rest of the week for you. Now, I designed this because as somebody with bipolar depression, taking care of myself requires a lot of time and resources, or I will fall into a suicidal depression. And if I was working somebody's 40 hours a week, I would not have the time to do that. So for example, I must get good sleep. Non-negotiable. If I get 1 day of bad sleep and then I deal with just everyday stress, that can send me into a downward spiral. Anybody else, if you can relate to that, go ahead and hit me up in the chat. But like that's all it takes. And these jobs don't care if you couldn't get to bed till 3 o'clock. You still got to be there at 8, right? And so for some of you, just sleep deprivation might be what's causing you to have mental health issues, right? So we can talk about that. Your job is an issue for some of you. I would love to hear, how many days a week do you prioritize your self-care or your pleasure? How many days a week do you prioritize your self-care or your pleasure? I'm gonna actually wait. I'm a former teacher, y'all, so I will wait for you in the chat. How many days a week do you prioritize your self-care or your pleasure? Oh, I can't see it. Stop sharing for just a moment. Okay. Oh, okay, Lakeisha, we see you daily. I heard that. Okay, 0. No, we don't like that. Robin, oh, 1. What is that? Self-care Sunday. Audrey, 1. Jacqueline, none. Y'all in the right place. At least you're in the right place. Ebony, we're not here to judge though, Queen. We ain't gonna judge. We're gonna increase that and make it better. But this is normal, y'all. 3 to 7. Go ahead, Izzy's living the easy life.
Yeah, Ezzy.
Okay. All right, 3 to 7. I like that. Tashara. No, Tershara. It's so funny. Now that I'm an adult, I can't sound things out. Like,
no, that's correct. That's correct.
Good. Because I feel like
Tershara.
Just sound it out. I'm like, oh, it's so hard. 0. We're going to have to work on that, Queen. Kim says 2. Lakeisha says 7. Lakeisha, you winning. Do you mind speaking on some of the things that you do for your self-care?
Good evening. Wow, I do a range of things. I do a lot of journaling, affirmations. I do a lot of breath work. I just got back into yoga. I do goddess baths. I do yoni steams. I do massages. I do it all. And I've had to learn this. Let me be honest. I've had to learn this. But I've been doing it faithfully. Sometimes more healing, deeper healing, more grounding. I'm not saying sometimes you won't get off track, but I really take my self-care seriously. Like there's no bargaining that at all, because I know what it was like when I had poor self-care. Now that I'm doing better with it, I always encourage women to make sure you are taking care of yourself, even self-pleasure. You know, I talk a lot about that too. I know some people feel different about that, but
Oh,
self-pleasure,
self-pleasure.
it is a
Self-pleasure
part
all
of,
day. Go ahead, Queen.
yes. So yeah, I do a lot of different things, but those are just a list of some things.
I love that. And one of the things I was going to say is why, Ebony, I don't want you to feel terrible, is that, listen, y'all, this is post-traumatic slave trauma. Like, that's what this is. There was a time in our history where us taking a nap, a break, getting a massage, getting some self-pleasure meant that we were in danger, and so was our community. So that wound is still there, where a lot of us feel like if I stop to take a moment for me, like it's selfish. It's gonna have a negative impact. We feel guilty about that. So one of the things I can teach you is, to treat yourself like a queen, to think about yourself as a queen. And what would a queen do? What would a queen do? A queen would not deprive herself of anything. She wouldn't wait for one day, right? Don't wait for one day to burn your special candle. Burn it today, because the only moment you have is now. And I think for a lot of us too, as we get older, we see the impact on our health, and that's what makes us then commit. Because really, that's what it was for me. Is that I saw that if I really don't have this on lock, I'm gonna die. I didn't say this, y'all. So let me back up. Last year, I looked like I had it all together if you were just to see me on the internet. So again, I started my anti-racism business. I grew to 6 figures in 10 months after being a broke teacher who was thinking about living in her car. I'd never seen 6 figures in my life, and I did it on my own. And I was only working, 25 hours a week from home, had all kinds of free time, and all these followers online, right? So it looks like, oh, everything is good for her. But because I was doing work that I didn't love, I'm working with these Nazis in these schools who are abusing our kids and not trying to change. That really led to me having this depression, and I fell into this place of feeling suicidal. And so that's what made me then be like, I have to prioritize my wellness. I can't do these hours back to back. I can't do work that depresses me. I can't look at media that depresses me, because I will kill myself, even though, again, seemingly it looks like I have it all together. It looks like everything's all good, but I wasn't feeling good, right? Behind closed doors, I'm falling apart. And I know for a lot of, thank you for the love, I appreciate that. I know for a lot of Black women, that's the case. We know how to show up. We could be miserable, and we could show up looking so fly, so cute, so together. Like, we know how to like put on that charade. But what we don't know how to do is often ask for help. We often don't feel like we can fall apart because everybody's expecting us to have it all together. There's no compassion for Black women with mental health issues, even though just being a Black woman in this country will give you mental health issues. And then there's a lot of shame, right? I'm now praised for being so open about having bipolar depression, but my God, I was so ashamed for so long. I can't believe I'm this open about it. But part of why I'm open about it, I guess, is because I've seen my success. And so I've seen that even though I have this condition, I'm also changing people's lives. And I want other people to know that even if you have some type of neurodivergence, some type of health issue, you can still give. You can still give even as you're healing yourself. Somebody said this to me: what you do is you offer up the healed parts of yourself. The parts of you that are still, still need to work, you can work on that. But the parts of you that are healed, you can offer that up. And so my whole journey of why I now coach Black women is I pivoted into this because I love this. I mean, I'm at work right now and this don't feel like work. I love y'all. Like, I could be with y'all all day, right? So it's a very different experience from when I was talking to white folks who are abusing Black and brown kids who aren't really trying to change. Anyway, that was a lot. One of the things I share is the lack of self-care was really costing me. I'll share a picture of where I was a year ago. And then I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself about what's it costing you? What is it costing you? So let me go ahead and share that picture. It's not cute. There it is. Oh, poor hurt Sharla. Look at her. She was in such a bad place. God. So that's me in December. I was 35 pounds heavier. I was done, y'all. I I was so done that I had a conversation with my kids about how I was going to end my life. This was like during Christmas break. Um, and I sat them down at the couch and I said, I'm losing my battle with depression. They know that I deal with depression. I talk about it as though it's a cancer, because bipolar disorder, people with bipolar depression the suicide rate is high. We have the highest suicide rate of people with mental illness out there. And I've had suicide ideation since 5th grade. Since I was 10, I've been thinking about ending my life. So I was candid with my kids about, I deal with this life-threatening condition, and I'm doing the best I can with it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to die by natural causes, right? It's a conversation I've had to have with my kids. So I told them in December, I'm losing my battle with depression. What does that mean? What am I saying? And I made them say it. I made them say, that means you're going to die, Mom. And I was like, yeah, that's where I was. Whew. And so I had a plan that by March 1st, I was going to wrap everything up. So December, I was suicidal. I was going to give myself like 2 months to kind of tie up loose ends, to leave everybody in the best position possible. And I was going to be out of here March 1st, 2022. That was the plan. And what I did instead is I really started January, I started to feel better, and I started to just commit to, let me just try to be here. Let me do everything I can. What would it really look like if I truly invested in myself and just did everything I needed to do to be well, right? Because I was really frustrated when I looked at what it really took to manage bipolar depression. Like, it's so expensive. It's so time consuming. Who has that type of time? Who has that type of money? But I said, what if I just did all I could to be well, and just trusted that, I'll get what I need, right? And just it was just one thing at a time. So first it was, the self-care and the self-love, and then I find another way to make money because I'm not dealing with these Nazis anymore. And then it was the crystals, right? I have my crystals with me. The goddess baths, the learning about the power of melanin, learning about the power of manifestation, like all of these things that like I kind of like lost touch with. And then it was, I had those 2 classes. So if you've been to my Black Goddess class, and then I started to think about, well, what Black women really need is they need a work from home business where they can prioritize themselves. And so that's what I got into, as well as now I do business coaching, where I teach women how to make their own 6-figure business from home, and you don't have to deal with these Nazis anymore. So anyway, I want to know, what is your lack of self-care costing you? What is your lack of self-care costing you? And I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself and to really be thoughtful. Okay, I see you. Go ahead, girl. I'm gonna stop sharing for just a moment. The question is, what is your lack of self-care costing you? I know we want to look at this beautiful goddess, but I'm gonna stop sharing. So I like to look at y'all's faces. It's not
Yeah,
Izzy. Is it Izzy?
Ezzy.
Ezzy. I know the E's right there. Ezzy. Go ahead, Ezzy.
So for me, what it's costing me really is just, it's making me kind of stand in my own way from my fullest potential and what I can offer. I mean, when I think back to prior to going to college, this was back in 2010, I remember just being happy and just joyful, and there were no worries in the world. And even in college, there weren't, right? There were distractions. You meet new people, you're in college, fun, fun, fun. But it wasn't until I graduated from undergrad where I was just like, oh snap, like this is real, and it's been years now of me just standing in my own way, and it's been standing in the midst of my goals. And I'll set goals, but I wouldn't have the clarity to actually set the steps up for me to actually get there. And so ultimately, it's really standing in my future. I don't have kids yet, but my ultimate goal is to be a mom. Like, that is my ultimate goal. And I've told myself that the healing starts now, so that my children don't have to heal from my trauma, because I come from a family of trauma. And it didn't hit me until now in adulthood that I was like, well, I'm carrying the trauma of my mom. I'm carrying the trauma of my aunt, my grandma. And it could get rough and it can get tough. So I feel you on that with the whole mental health and having those really down days where you just like, you're just really down. So it really just standing in my own way and just listening to you and your story just kind of puts me in a place of like, it's going to be okay. And I guess the mantra that I'm living with now is just that, with every greatest step back, there is a greatest breakthrough. And these feelings that I'm feeling are familiar. And I remember when I experienced these feelings of, feeling down and out career wise. And then the next moment, God opens a new door and it's like, there's a breakthrough. So I keep telling myself, it gets better. And then come into places like this and spaces like this where you're able to resonate and kind of like relate to others. It just, you don't feel alone. So there's that.
That is what I want for y'all. I mean, in all the classes that I do, I'm here for Black women, and I want you to not feel alone. I know that feeling, and the thing is that I coach y'all, so I know that we're going through the same things, but we often go through it in isolation, and we often don't feel like there's a safe place to be real, or can I trust, these people? So that's really important to me, is that you don't feel alone, that you feel loved, that you feel nurtured, and that you feel like you have a safe space you can show up. And that's the type of space I try to create for my queens. Let me hit this chat, because y'all all up in here in this chat. Let me get you. I appreciate that you appreciate me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Mental health and mental illness, thank you, is so real and needs to be talked about more and more, especially in Black communities and families. My sister has a similar disorder. Yeah, it's really rough. And I know it's been rough on my family because they didn't know what the hell it was for so long. So many of us with bipolar disorder are misdiagnosed. We spent about 11 years trying to find out what's going on with us. So I didn't really know. I'm 43, maybe 41, 42. And even when they tell you, like, you really just don't, they don't sit down and digest it with you the way they need to. So there's a lot of denial. I was definitely in denial. Like, no, I'm fine. And with bipolar, it's easy to be denial because you get depressed and then you go back up. So you feel like you're getting better, but you're not. You're bipolar. Stress and obesity, yes. And stress kills. Why do we tolerate stress? We wouldn't tolerate like working with a gun to our head. We wouldn't tolerate that. But that's a similar condition to what our bodies feel when we think about our jobs. If your stomach's in knots on Sunday night, that is your body communicating with you that if you continue to do what you're doing, you're gonna die. Stress kills. And the thing is that we've normalized it in our society and in our community that that's just the way it is. My mom died from, stress, and my grandmother died from stress. And isn't it noble to be a martyr and to just take one for the team as a Black woman? No, it's tired. Let me tell you why. Who carries the Black community? Who carries the Black community? It's us. The Black woman carries the Black community. We're the one getting the babies to the schools. We're the one holding it down in the church. We're the ones in the Supreme Court. We are the ones who carry the community for whatever reason, right? I'm not trying to dog Black men. I love Black men, but it's us. So if we die from stress, there is no Black community. It's a wrap. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your self-care is not just about you. It's bigger than you. Is bigger than you. My self-care is bigger than me. I have women to impact. There's women whose lives are going to change, and lives I'm going to save because I'm out here in this world. And if I decide to blow my brains out, those women aren't going to be impacted. I've seen the impact of my coaching now, right? It was a dream in January. I just had my first group of women roll through, and they're doing big and important things in the world. And that's because I was able to pour into myself, right? So think about everybody who depends on you. And for some of you, you have a business, you have clients that you don't know of yet. They still depend on you too. You have so much impact in the world. So you can't be tired. You can't be hungry. You can't be cranky. You can't be mad, because all of this is dependent on you taking care of yourself. Give from your overflow. That's what I want for you, queens, to only give from your overflow. If this is your glass, then your job is to fill your glass until it's overflowing, and then you give. But you don't give from here. You don't give from here. This is all yours. That's what I want for y'all, to be unapologetic about your boundaries, about what you need to be well. And I don't want you to be where I was. Don't be on your deathbed. Don't be plotting your suicide. Don't be having reoccurring chest pains. Too many of us wait until we get the diagnosis, until we find out we have the fatal breast cancer. Then we want to do self-care. Then it's time to exercise and eat right. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for that. For those of us in our 40s, you know what's up. I'm 43. We can't play. So I encourage you, if you need permission, because some of y'all need permission, you have my permission. If you need the information that it's safe for you to try to prioritize yourself, it's safe for you to prioritize yourself. And nobody's coming to save you. I hate to tell you that. No one's coming to save you. I had 13,000 followers on LinkedIn, y'all. when I fell off for 3 months, because LinkedIn kicks me off, because I talk a lot of shit to white people, but they kicked me off, and that also exacerbated my depression. When I fell off, do you think those 13,000 followers reached out to me like, hey, Charla, how's it going? How you doing? You need a hug, right? You need a cookie, right? No, right? They did not, right? And so what I'm saying is that society will take and take and take and take from you, and you could be shriveling up and dying in the corner, and no one's coming to save you. So please, save yourselves, y'all. Please save yourself. I have a gift for you that's going to help you save yourself. It's going to help you save yourself. Let's get to the gifts. Oh, did anybody else want to share, by the way, what this is costing you? I'm going to go ahead and get back over here. Did anybody else want to share what your lack of self-care is costing you? I'm going to allow you to speak up if you want to share.
So I think someone wrote something in the chat, sweetheart. I don't know if you read it.
I appreciate you. Let's go lick. So true. Overflow, right? Not the flow. I heard that. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to be the strong one. Listen, Black queens, I encourage you to be the soft, vulnerable, delicate, fragile one, right? Like I'm delicate. Treat me with kindness. I don't want to be strong either. F strong. Society makes you think you have to put on this mask on, ignore your troubles, and it builds up. Society's conditioned, you're the Black woman. The Black woman is the mule of the world. Society's conditioned to treat you as the mule of the world. And you have to remind society that you are the queen. You are the original woman. You are the first queen. The original queen was you. The original goddess was you. So you have to reclaim that position in society and constantly remind people if they forgot, right? Like if they don't remember. So yeah, we have to take good care of ourselves. Oh yes, thank you. There it is in the chat. Yeah, lack of self-care is costing me my motivation, leaving me stressed, broke, and lonely. Feeling the need a man. We all been there. A man around to make me feel a tiny bit better, and half the time don't even do that. Relationships with everyone seem to be distant also. I lost my mom. I'm so sorry, queen. That's big. On my last birthday, still haven't started the grieving process because I don't know where to start. Lack of self-care is beating me up physically and emotionally, truly. Queen, I got you. So I'm gonna reach out to you, Sin. Plus, I have something for you literally right now. So let me show you what I have for you, queens, to help you manage your self-care, because it's self-care or die. I mean, that's what my little slide says, and it's real because this was my experience, is that I was not taking care of myself and I was about to die. So we need to be thoughtful about that. So what would be different if you prioritized your self-care every day? And I would even add to this, not just your self-care, but also your pleasure, right? Your pleasure matters. Your joy matters. There's a book called Bear, B-A-R-E. It's by a white woman. I don't really like that part, but she has really, the message is good. One of the things she talks about is how, because there's a lack of pleasure in our lives, we end up looking for that pleasure in food or whatever our addiction might be. So for me, like I was stressed out with my job, I'd be stressed out with my kids. So they were, by the time they would go to sleep, my little treat was an ice cold beer and some freshly made cookies, right? Which is terrible, but that was the end of the day pleasure. And what I've noticed and what she talked about in the book is that when you prioritize pleasure throughout your day, you won't do that anymore. You won't do it in unhealthy ways. So imagine what would change for you if you prioritize your self-care every day. And again, this is how we win. So we're going to create our self-care, our self-love plan. And what I have for you, I'm going to skip through some of this because in interest of time, is a 7-day themed calendar that will help you focus on your self-care. So for example, I'm going to walk you through all of these and just think about like what you might want to do on that day. So on Sacred Sunday, this is a great time to release negativity, right? To let things go, to clear the palate, to forgive yourself and others, okay? A lot of times we don't realize we're mad at ourselves. I'll give you an example. So like, let's say that you're running late already. You go to pick up your kids, and your partner doesn't have them ready to go, and so you're frustrated. But really, one of the things you're frustrated about is that you were running late already, right? Like you're mad at yourself because you didn't plan. So what happens when you have that lack of forgiveness for yourself is you end up resenting yourself and not trusting yourself. And then when it comes to making decisions, you're like, well, I don't trust you because you did that before and I didn't forgive you for that. So it's important to forgive yourself, forgive others, release the past. Notice how your body feels when you think of Monday. It's information. Okay, I would love for your body to feel rest and relaxed and excited, but if it does not feel that way when it's thinking about Monday, then that's information, right? That's good for you to know. So Sacred Sunday, spending time in some sacred space, whatever that means to you. Manifestation Mondays. This is about creating affirmations for your week. Creating a recording detailing your ideal week and listen daily. So I am big about making recordings. When you hear things in your own voice, your subconscious can't tell if what you're saying is real or not. It will believe whatever you say, which is why you really need to watch what you say. And when you say it in your own voice, your subconscious thinks it's you, right? It thinks it's actually happening because that sounds just like me. So if there's a week ahead of me and there's goals I want to set on Monday or Sunday, I'll make a recording of how I want that week to go, right? Oh my gosh, I had the most amazing self-love class. Like the queens were just participating and just really got a lot out of it. And right, so I'll speak into existence all that I want. And then I'll listen to that daily and brainwash myself, and it works. Visualize your best week. Queens, this works. It works. I've been doing this with stressful phone calls I have, right? I got to call the IRS because when you're in business for yourself, you got to deal with tax people all the time. I had an issue with PayPal, right? Just these calls I'm not excited to make. They could go poorly, but in my mind, I was like, I was thanking the universe for the calls going really well. I have really great, everybody that I talk to wants to help me. They want to work with me. They're making jokes. They're pleasant. That has been my experience talking to government people, y'all. That has been my experience because I visualized it. A lot of us visualize what we don't want. We visualize the traffic jam. We visualize getting yelled at by our boss. We visualize not having any money in our bank account. And then you wonder why it happens. Like, visualize what you want. Speak as though it's already yours. Death in life begins on the tongue. Your words have power. Stop calling yourself broke. Don't tell yourself that you're fat and ugly. Don't say you'll never make it. Like, I wake up in the morning, I say, universe, however you want to bless me today, I'm all for it, right? If Idris Elba is in my future, bring it to me, right? All the money, the resources, all the good, I'll take it, right? Like, be open. The universe wants to bless you, but we block our blessings by our mouth. Don't call yourself broke. Don't call yourself anything that you don't want to manifest. Don't say anything that you don't want to manifest. As melanated women, you're extremely powerful manifestors, more powerful than white men, more powerful than anybody else. As melanated women, you are extremely powerful manifestors, meaning you can speak things into existence. I'll let you hear me. Sensuous Tuesday. All my Tauruses, Libras, you might enjoy this. So this is all about indulging your six senses. Really, you got more than that, but all your senses, right? Maybe buying yourself some flowers, making a delicious meal, and really like savoring the food, right? As you're eating it, close your eyes and moan to show how good the food is, right? Like really get into like, yes, this is so good. Make sweet love to that food. Pet the cat, whether that's actually your cat you have or it's your pussy, right? Like have fun, enjoy your body. You have a clitoris. It has 8,000 nerve endings. A penis only has 4,000. You got twice as many. Take advantage. There's so many benefits in having orgasms. And here's another fun fact. As you're orgasming, speak into existence what you want to birth, because orgasms give birth to things, right? They give birth to things. So as you're coming, be like, I'm a six-figure business owner, right? Me and Beyonce are in business together. Like whatever it is you want to create as you're coming, speak it into existence. I did that, y'all. Feed your senses, your intuition, touch, taste, smell, sight, sound. Like really give honor and gratitude that you can indulge all of these things. Get your scented shea butter and like really appreciate your body as you're like rubbing it on. All of the sensual things about life. Sensuous Tuesday. I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna stop and check in with you for just a moment. What are your thoughts so far about what I shared? Oh, 2 new messages. Team Taurus. Team Taurus. Yeah, Tauruses love all the sensual things. Good. I'm glad you're loving. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. If you are free at any point, if you want to unmute yourself and just share, you're free to do that. We're in nobody's meeting. This is your space. All right, so let's get back to the week. I know you want to know what today is. Like, what are we gonna do on Thursday? Real Love Wednesday is what's up next. And this is about taking care of you. So this is my mama. This is me on my birthday, me and my mama. My mom, y'all, is 79 years old and she still turns head. She is so fine. But focusing on loving yourself, make a list of who loves you. I do this sometimes when I'm like, nobody loves me. I'm like, wait a minute, that ain't even true. People love me, right? Make a list of who loves you. Do more of what and who you love. You got somebody that you love, go do them, right? Go enjoy that. Do more of what you love. So I swim every day. That has been my thing. I did not mean for this to happen. Let me backtrack. I was trying to just take the kids swimming, and then I started swimming, and I was just like, this is so good for my mental health. And so I did a 30-day, I challenged myself to 30 days. I'm now at 33 days because I can't stop. And it's just so good for my mental health. Like once I get in that water, the water reminds me literally to go with the flow, to be in the flow. When I'm in the water and I can feel like the water holding me, like that feels like the universe holding me. Here I am, just the universe just holding me. When I jump into the pool, it reminds me of jumping into the unknown. So there's just all these metaphors. And also the other part is I just have fun. It's just fun in the pool. So do what you love. Figure out what that is. For a lot of you, you might have lost touch with what is that I even like to do. And whatever it is, be unapologetic about it. My mom loves solitaire, Sudoku, like any of those type of puzzles. She loves that. That's her thing. And that's part of the reason why she stayed young. Send love to yourself and to others. You can always energetically send love. Your energy reaches people. It's real. That's why sometimes you're thinking about somebody and they call you. That's real. You can just send love out to people. Whoever it is you miss, whoever it is you just care about, just think about them and send them love. Real Love Wednesday. Just focus on loving you, loving other people, doing what you love. It's Thankful Thursday. Hey, gratitude. First of all, I have a gratitude class. I highly recommend y'all sign up for it. It's on Eventbrite. If you don't have a gratitude practice, you'll walk away with several. And gratitude is such a game changer, y'all. The reason why gratitude is so important is because most of us are trying to figure out, how can I have what I want, right? That's mostly the goal and the energy we have. How can I have what I want? How can I have what I want? The real plug, or the real whatever the term is, right, is how can I want what I have? How can I want what I have? We have so much. There's so much abundance. There's abundance everywhere. Be grateful for it. Like if you look in your closet and you see that you have more than one outfit, that's abundance. That's more outfits than you can wear at one time, right? Like if you even have a pile of dirty dishes, that's abundance. Like if you have a pile of bills, it's abundance is all there is. Everywhere is abundant. So focus on gratitude, journaling on gratitude, spending the day counting your blessings. What it does is it changes your energy. So if you're somebody who has anxiety, if you worry about the future, this is a practice that can help you change that. Start the day counting your blessings and get down to the most basic blessings of, I can breathe on my own. I have a place to go empty my bladder that's not on the streets. I can wipe my butt on my own. I have access to running water, like the most basic things. My brain, when I tell my body to get up, it does what I want it to do, right? When you make that list in the morning, what that does is it sets you up for whatever stress you might face in the day. Look at all these blessings I have over here. I can breathe on my own, right? No matter what, right? No matter what else is going on, I can breathe. I can wipe my own butt, like. And so I'll do that in the morning, and then I'll also do it throughout the day, because I trust that, this is what I believe. I believe that my spirit guides, my angels, everybody got my back. Throughout every day, they're planning little blessings that are just for me. And they want to see if I'm going to notice. They want to see if I'm going to notice. That's what I choose to believe. And so as I notice those things, I write them down. And what that does is it again affirms for me, I'm taking care of it. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Again, if you can mute yourself, that'd be great, unless you want to share. But it reminds me that I don't have to have anxiety. I don't have to be freaked out about how am I going to pay that bill? How am I going to do X, Y, and Z? I see that my angels bless me today in ways that are very specific to me, right? I can see that this was clearly just for me. So I can trust that in the future, the same thing will happen. And another thing I encourage you to do is be present. Do not go to the future. That y'all, those of you who are here at that very beginning, I was playing an anti-anxiety affirmation, which is part of a gift I'm going to share with you. But the whole point of that affirmation is to help you just be here now. A lot of the insanity is when you are in the past. that's where depression lives, or when you're in the future, where anxiety lives, your present is where the presents are. One of my affirmations is I'm present to the present in my presence. I'm present, I'm here, I'm aware of the gifts that are in my proximity right now. So when I want to start freaking out about stuff, I go, I'm present to the presence of my presence. Because when I'm not present, I'm missing out my little girl who's smiling at me right now because I'm freaked out about bills. My son just did something awesome and I didn't see it because I'm worried about the future. I need to be present to the presence of my presence. My little girl will not be cute and little forever, right? So let's be present now. She can probably hear me. Ah. Anyway, fantastic finish Friday. I love this queen because she's like, yes, I did it. We need to celebrate ourselves, Black women. This is what y'all do. I already know. This is what you do. You achieve a goal, and then you know what you do after that? You just achieve another goal. That's all you do. And then you achieve another goal. At no point do you go, oh my God, look what I did. Did y'all see what I did? Let's have a party, a parade. Let's really celebrate all I've done. Did y'all see that? Do you know who I am? Like, I would love for y'all to be way more cocky, way more congratulatory, way more self-appreciative. And I know you were told to be humble, but it doesn't benefit Black women to be humble. That benefits white supremacy. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it does not benefit you to be humble. Okay, that's why we broke. No, celebrate yourself, stand in your power, recognize how awesome you are, do this pose, right? And feel yourself. So notice your wins this week. Every week you make progress, queen. Do you notice? Every week. As a new mom, when I had a little baby, I would notice how different my baby was week to week. And what I reflected on was, if my baby's developing week to week, so am I. So am I. Okay, so y'all need to give yourself some credit. Notice your progress, all micro wins, macro wins, all the wins matter. Any new insights, new learnings, right? And the whole idea is for you to kind of journal on these things and just be like, look at all the things I done did, and maybe even post it, right? Motivate some other people, inspire some other people in preparation for.
I love this.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead, Queen.
I was saying that I love the what is it? Well, it makes me think of like cheerleading, right? The fantastic finish Friday that, you know, as Black women, we often are everybody's cheerleader. Like, we are everybody's cheerleader. Like, we are the best hype people ever. Like, on the face of this planet. It's just like, we hype people just going and coming. And it's beautiful and it's glorious and people enjoy it, because it's always great to have like that amen choir, right? And that hallelujah chorus and all that stuff. And we're always there. And it is true that everybody has told us, like our society has told us, that we do not get to celebrate ourselves and that we are supposed to be quote unquote humble, which feeds into white supremacy. Because then when we are humble in front of people, well then, despite the fact, right, that like we have all of these accolades, all of this education, right? We're like the most educated demographic in the United States, then it perpetuates like our humbleness, like, you know, that is like subjected and expected of us, perpetuates the ideology that we're automatically less than and that we aren't, you know, capable. And so then it just feeds into that cycle and we ingest it. And so I love this fantastic finish Friday. So I'm going to have to do more, I think, of celebrating myself just as much as, you know, if I celebrated myself as much as I celebrate my friends and like my colleagues and the people in my circle, I mean, that itself would be life-changing.
Would be, Queen, and your prices would triple, which is what I want. Keisha's currently my client, and now that I heard her say that, I got you on the self-care, Queen. I got you. But yes, I'm gonna ask you too when I check in. What do you celebrate? Listen, y'all. Self-celebration Saturday. Commit this day to you. Lift yourself up. Remind yourself of who you are. This is what I truly believe. I truly believe the universe does not create anything it does not need. The universe is very intelligent. It doesn't create anything it doesn't need. If you were created, you are needed. You are necessary. You're worthy of celebration. You are worthy of celebration. Like, carry confetti in your pocket, you know what I mean? Just self-celebration side. So do something kind for yourself. Preferably, if food is something that you abuse, don't make it around food. Now, if you can do it around food and you're good with it, cool, do it around food. But otherwise, I would encourage you to do something else, because we tend to think that every celebration has to be centered around food. It doesn't, right? Treat yourself to something special. Buy yourself a new book. Go to the spa. Make yourself, instead of making somebody else, because a lot of times we'll do it for our partner, we'll do it for our man, we'll do it for our wife. We won't do it for us. Make yourself that delicious meal. I'm guilty of this too. I'll do it for my kids. I won't do it for me. Make yourself that delicious meal, right? Do something that celebrates and uplifts you. That's what I want for you, right? So this is all available to you. Oh, and this is something I want you to think about. Does your job treat you with love? Because you can have this theme calendar and you can do all of these things, but if every day, if you go into a place that doesn't see you, that overlooks you for promotions, that doesn't pay you what you're worth, that is stressing you out, making you feel inadequate or less than, then there's going to be a lot of push-pull in your energy where you're like, I love myself, but you're constantly subjecting yourself to a toxic environment. So for some of you, you're aware that your place of employment is negatively impacting your mental health and your ability to love yourself. What if you only did work you love when you wanted to work with people you love, making more money than you have thus far? If that's something you're inspired to have, you need to book a call with me. So yes, I'm plug myself left and right. Because like I said, y'all, it's not enough. I mean, you can do the self-love, but for a lot of you, you live at your job. And even when you're not at your job, you're still at your job. So on the weekends, you're still at your job. When it's time to go to sleep at night, you're still at your job. And so if that is a source of stress and pain for you, I want y'all to hear this. You have options. You have options. If my bipolar butt can create a six-figure business, trust that you can, okay? Like you have options, and the options that you have are you can sell your expertise. Whatever your expertise is, you can sell it. It's all about packaging it up and getting it out there. And for really what it's about for a lot of you is self-confidence and worthiness. You don't believe that anybody gonna buy what you have to offer. You don't feel good about who you are. These jobs have done abuse you and mistreat you for so long that you're like, what? Start my own business? How would I go about doing that? And you're used to just working for Whitey and having that job, even though you hate it. And the idea of, what, 25 hours a week, working 3 days a week, you know, on my own terms, with only when I want to, with people I love, like that don't even seem real. Like that's not real, Sharla. Like that doesn't exist. And I know, because 2 years ago, if you had told me this, I'd be like, that's not real, but I'm living it. It's real. So I want to say that to you. Your gift from me is you're going to get 7 days access into my community, Path to Peaceful Profits. If after 7 days you want to be part of that community, the subscription is $97 a month. Now, here's the good part. You don't have to, there's no credit card or anything required to join the community. It's on me to notice you've been in there for 7 days and then DM you and be like, hey, do you want to subscribe or not? Now, what is in the Path to Peaceful Profits? Why would you want to even be part of this community? That's a really great question. Let's look. So there's a ton of resources in this community. I love my community. I love it so much. All right, so can you see that? No, you can't see that. Let me get you to make sure you can see it. Oh, what did you say over here in the chat? Let me go get you. I do gratitude statements daily, yes. Oh, okay, all right, you are putting here. Me too, I actually lost passion for what I used to love, and now I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. Yes, I heard that. I started journaling on what I'm thankful for. At the end of the day, it really allows you to get past the not so good moments. Yes, it does. Journaling is huge, y'all. I had to get up last night. I was mad at my ex-husband, just TMI. I was mad at my ex-husband, and I had to stop and journal in order to go to sleep because I had to just get it all out of my system. So journaling is huge, and it can keep you from going off, right? I got it all out of my journal rather than, in the email and pressing send. So that was good for me. All right. So when you come to Path to Peaceful Profits, there are 3 main sections. One of them is all about your worthiness, your self-confidence, and your self-love. And for a lot of you, you're probably going to spend a lot of time here. But there's also great material with Black Girl Magic and Manifestation. So if you're into astrology, crystals, dreams, food is medicine, movement, all of that, that's here. And then we have information here about how you can start your own online business, right? So that's all available to you. And I'm going to show you what's inside in just a moment. I also do trainings. So last weekend I did a training. It was 3 ways you can make $10,000 online. Yeah, 3 ways you can make $10,000 a month online. It was actually closer to 10 ways. As far as the trainings that are upcoming, how to feel worthy of an easy breezy 7-figure life. A lot of you will block the blessings. You will just be like, no, work has to be hard because it was hard for the ancestors, and I have to do things I don't like for money, and I'm only going to allow myself to make so much money. And so all of that energy will keep it from coming to you. If you feel guilty about taking time off or taking care of yourself, like that energy will keep it from coming to you. So for a lot of you, it's just you don't feel worthy of this lifestyle, and that's why it's not here. So I'd love to help you get over that. Closing sales over Zoom. You are 4 times more likely to connect with for people to trust you and like you and close sales over video than you are over some static image. And so for a lot of people, they don't like sales. There's all this, oh, I feel weird about sales. I love sales. I love sales because sales is just nothing but a conversation. And you either get a sale or a relationship. And a lot of times those relationships, you nurture them long enough, you'll get another sale. So I love sales. I'm happy to talk about that. And then the other one is how to use LinkedIn to get high ticket clients, y'all. This is how I built my business to 6 figures in 10 months. People sleep on LinkedIn, and I get it. It's boring. It's boring. It's a boring site. It is not Instagram. It is not TikTok. It's boring. But because it's boring, it's easy for you to stand out, and you can make your profile so that people are coming to you. You don't have to go. You can use divine feminine energy to attract them to you rather than let me go get everybody, right? So these are the trainings that are available when you subscribe. And again, this alone is worth $97. I'm just going to keep it 100. But let's go to the topics and see what else is up in here. So that those of you who heard the affirmations, the beginning of this session, that's all in here. This was, so I'll put inspirational quotes. This is to help you get over your money mindset. So again, I'm not big on the non-melanated women, but I do really like this woman. Her whole thing is about being a chillpreneur, being really chill about your online business, and I'm all about that. Quotes, some of my free love class, some of the trainings. This is a meditation on how to be open to receiving. This is how you can arrange your phone icons to always be affirming you. This was some retreats. This is right in alignment with one of you just said, I don't want to be strong anymore. I want a soft life. So it's an article about, being the soft Black woman. Light therapy, the benefits of soaking in the hot tub, self-care magazine I recommend, gratitude, naps, etc. There's so much in here. How you're no one until someone hates you. Like don't allow haters to keep you from feeling unmotivated. Forgiving yourself for a chronic illness, right? So like I have bipolar 2 disorder. I'm gonna have that for the rest of my life. I gotta get over feeling bad about it. Protecting your mental health, how to get better at facing your fears. So much in here, and it goes on. And again, this is just self-care and self-love. This is an article, some of y'all, if you, I sent it to you via email. This was what we were listening to earlier. If you have anxiety, I recommend this so much. This helped me so much. This is why I'm in the present, and I'm not like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like sometimes I'll listen to this 3 times in a row, if that's what it means. Forgiving yourself, getting over the shame around, having a vagina, learning how to move your body. If you're looking for a therapist, again, lots of quotes. I love this. I don't know if you know Abraham Hicks, but I love Abraham Hicks. I start my morning with this. Lots of good stuff. And again, and of course, I have a YouTube channel. I have good stuff to tell you as well. To keep you focused. Oh, this is a great one. Journal prompts for those of you who love journaling. For self-love, right? What are my best personal attributes? And what situations do I really shine? I highly recommend that you do this every day, right? You guys, when you just mentioned I need to journal more, just come in here and focus on one of these. So day 1, do number 1, day 2, right? So again, this is all just one section of what I offer. And again, I have a lot of videos. The body keeps score. You don't have to be worried about what people think. 3 ways not to care. Pleasure is your birthright, especially sexual pleasure, right? All of that is in here. You're more than worthy. If you're one of those people who's like, I don't feel worthy. So that's one topic. Topic number 2, Black girl magic and manifestation. What y'all say in the chat? How much is the resource? Oh, after the 7 days, it's $97 a month. Funny you mentioned that. That is the end goal. The end goal is in-person retreats. Yes, Queen. I want y'all to just be healed. And yes, so the universe is working on that. We're going to get back to you, but that is it. Yes. Yes, Queen. I want to take, yes. I already got it in my mind. We working on it. We manifesting it. So it's coming up. Yes. A whole retreat. We're going to be refreshed. Woo. Yes. All right, so this is Black Girl Magic and Manifestation. Again, this is $97 a month after the 7 days. 7 days, just get up in here and do whatever you want. You can bookmark all of this too. Like, I'm not worried about it. I want you to take care of yourself. But if you want to continue to be in this community, it's only $97. So Abraham Hicks, when you're stressed and depressed, again, she's really great. Again, about gratitude, power of sunshine, turmeric, right? A lot of stuff in here about food as medicine. This is a diet plan focused on mental health. I love this because there's certain foods that there's things we put in our body that make us feel worse. And I heard this all my life, but I didn't listen to it. But now I take my diet really seriously, and I've been stable. I didn't mention this. I've been stable all of 2022, y'all. So doing the things that I teach my queens to do has basically, I don't want to say cured me. I'm sure I still will see some elements of bipolar, but I've never gone almost 7 months without wanting to kill myself in my life. That's never been the case for me. So since I've been doing my self-care, my Black Girl Magic, and focusing with working with Black women and doing what I love and swimming every day and going on my nature walks and all of that, I've lost 35 pounds. I have not been suicidal. I'm a much better mom. I'm making fantastic money. Like, I'm peaceful. I don't, when my ex-husband tries to gaslight me, I don't take the bait. You know what I mean? Like, I'm centered. Like, nope, not going there. I take the path of least resistance. I'm chill. So yeah, I hide, like pay attention to what you eat and how it's affecting you, because it's a big deal. So brain health affected by gut health. Want a flatter tummy and better digestion? Eat more apples, avocados, bananas, getting over the fear of death. This was something that I did too as I moved through my depression, is I started listening to a lot of what happens when you die. And that's what got me into the spiritual aspect, but just kind of revisiting that. And then what I did is I made a decision. I didn't want to return to the ancestors and say I couldn't complete my mission. I just got too depressed. I did not want to do that. So I made a decision to live. And part of that was listening to a lot of things about, well, what happens when we die? Sometimes looking at death can help you choose to live. Crystals, nature, again, food is medicine. Maya Angelou, playing more. Black women. Y'all don't play enough. Everything's work, work, work. You're so like serious. Stop being so serious. Like, go get some bubbles. Go get a hula hoop. Go play. Do something just because you enjoy it. Not because it's monetizable. Not because, I don't know, it's going to benefit your health, but just because it's joyful, right? Just enjoy yourself. Play more. And again, when I talk about building a business, it's something I stress with my queens. Is like, you have to actually chill as an entrepreneur for the gifts and the ideas to come to you. If you're all uptight and working, all you did is recreate the plantation, and it's not good for you. We need to play. Gardening, masculine, feminine energy, self-care by astrological signs, so much stuff in here. So again, this is the Black Girl Manifestation element. Hey, see, manifesting as you come. Hell yes. What to say when manifesting, right? I create, I am, not I want, maybe it will happen. Third eye kisses, all this stuff, right? Meditations, healing your uterus, angel numbers, your life path numbers, sun gazing, third eye glands, and then, oh, look, it's me, and I have stuff for you. So melanated magic, yoni, money, etc. I'm going to check in again, and I'll show you the last one. How are we doing? What are your thoughts? Anybody want to share? And then I'll show you the last topic I have for you about building your business.
Hey, it's Takia here.
Takia, girl, I'm so glad. Listen, I know your face. I know your energy. I have nothing but love for you. I'm sorry that I messed your name up.
It's all good.
Carry on.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that resource. I love it. I think I kind of missed the part where you were explaining the subscription. And I was also curious too, in like what platform that is, because I really like the layout.
Mighty Networks. So a couple things that you mentioned that. So my gift to y'all is you have 7 days in this community. I'm gonna give you the link. You can just come on in, right? After 7 days, it's up to me to notice you've been there for 7 days, and then I'm gonna DM you and be like, hey, would you like to subscribe? If you'd like to subscribe, it's $97 a month. And that includes the trainings that I included. So how to sell over Zoom, how to utilize LinkedIn, how to be worthy of easy breezy life, as well as all of that content. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. During your 7 days, you can literally go through if you wanted to and just bookmark all that stuff if you wanted to. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at you about it. I want you to be well, right? But you're not gonna have access to the trainings and some of the other things I provide. This resource, I want y'all to have access to the tools that will help you create your own business. I do offer coaching. I offer more, intense, more hands-on, or our community to do this when in as well. But either way, if you end up working with me, this is included. But if you don't end up working with me, just have access to these tools. I want Black women to be well. So it's $97 if you want to subscribe, if you're not working with me already. So Keisha, she's my client. She has access to this the whole time that she's working with me. But if you're just going to do it a la carte, it's $97. Okay. But my gift is 7 days, knock yourself out, just enjoy it. I want you to just have a sample of it, because if you don't have a sample of it, you ain't gonna buy it, right? So I want you to have a sample of it, see what it's like, see how you feel in the community. And if you like it, subscribe. So that's the
awesome.
gist of it. Make sense, Queen?
Yes, that's awesome. And the other
Oh,
question,
Mighty Networks. It's Mighty Networks.
okay. So if we get to the point of subscribing and to go through the trainings, does that also come with like coaching time if we wanted to work with you to set up a business within, I guess, using this kind of platform?
But what I'm going to do is, after we have our class, is I'm going to send out my link so that you can schedule a call with me. And during that time, we can discuss what it looks like to work together, if that's something that you're curious about. And again, if we did end up working together, you would just get this included already. As far as the trainings that you see within the Mighty Networks, if you're a paid subscriber, you'll get those recordings. So in the 7 days, you have to hope that one of them is happening during your 7 days. Otherwise, you're going to have to be a paid subscriber to get access to a recording. So I just did a recording last Saturday, right? So several ways you can make $10,000 online. My paid subscribers will get access to that recording. So like Keisha has access to that recording, but everybody else, if they weren't there live, they didn't get it unless they're a paid subscriber. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. I'm so glad you came, Queen. She is a very fabulous vocalist and roller skater, right? So I love I roller skate too, but like not like you, because you be like, doing the dancing and like all the things. And I'm just over here like, not so much.
No, but I'm loving seeing you do this work. It's so powerful and beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Creating the space,
I appreciate that, Queen. And one of the things I love about your roller skating videos too is it's Black, it's unapologetic Black joy, right? You're just out there having a good time. All right, let me show you the last section, Queen, so you can build your business. There's so many ways to go about building your business, Queens. I love showing this to you. All right, 7-figure online business basics. So much good stuff in here. So this was a training by, what are they called? I forgot the name of them. The Black Something Project. But they were teaching how you can create your, I'm so sorry I missed this. How you can basically use the holiday season to make 5 to 6 figures selling your product. So that was a free training that I posted in here. These are stock photos of Black people. These are basic services you need to run your 6-figure work from anywhere business. So I shared this with the training I did last Saturday. I'll just share it with y'all now because it is so, I want to demystify this for you. I want you to understand that it's not this big drawn out process where you have to have the website, you have to have all the things. You don't, right? You can deliver your service over Zoom. That's what we're doing right now. You can book calls through Calendly. Calendly is just a way that you can schedule your calls instead of going back and forth, right? And it was invented by a Black man. You can get your payment from Stripe or Zelle, right? Like there's plenty of ways to get paid. Really, these 3, you can get started with just these 3. You don't need the rest of this stuff. I mean, you might need dot forms for it to make a contract, but you don't really need the rest of this stuff. You can build on this later. MailChimp, that helps you create your email list, send out mass emails, create a lead magnet. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. Also has a tool to create a website. You don't need a website. You don't need a website. You don't need a website. And I say that because people love, I did a website. I will focus on my website. But the reason why you don't need a website is because people get lost on a website. And what you need actually is a lead page where there's only one thing that they can do. All they can do is sign up for your course. All they can do is book a call with you. A website is, I'm gonna look at your pictures, I'm gonna look at your blog, and then I didn't do anything. I didn't book a call with you, I didn't do nothing, I just looked at your stuff. You don't need a website. Email, like Gmail, or just any email you have to communicate with your community. Canva, if you don't know Canva, it is where you can make beautiful graphic designs. All of the things that you see that I put out there on Eventbrite, I made that in Canva. You can get lost in Canva, so much fun. You can make ebooks, journals, like so many resources in Canva, and it's free. Their free version is great. You can do a paid version if you want, but the free version is great too. SOT forms to help you create legally binding contracts for your clients. And again, most of these are 20 to 30 bucks. So that's just one of my resources, all about proposals, mindset. I teach educators how to go from being an educator to a school consultant because that was my background. This was me telling them, hey, my class is showing up. Some of y'all have courses out there. Do not create the content first. Sell it first. Sell it first, and then get paid to create the content. I can show you how to do that. So all this stuff is here. You can definitely check it out yourself, and I can definitely help you as well. How to create a membership model, right? Like, I'll give you an example. The membership model I have right now, This Mighty Networks. I only need 100 people to sign up a month for me to make $10,000. That's one way you can make $10,000 online. Bam, right there, right? I get 100 people to say, I will subscribe with you for $97. I made $10,000 that month. It's an ongoing subscription, right? I don't think that's hard to do. I think I have way more than $97 worth of content and value up in this group. But that's a way that you can make money online. It's just mindset, and you believe in yourself that you can do it. So a ton of pricing, so you're consulting, so you make money, grants. This was like 6 different ways you can make more money online than your 9 to 5. Alternatives to Calendly, making sure your landing page is monetized. How this woman made 1.1 million in 11 months. Sales conversations and tips. I mean, it's all here. Whatever you need, it is here. So when you have this resource coupled with coaching with me, whether you're in my community or it's one-on-one, you're gonna make money. I'm gonna show you one last thing, and then we can sort of wrap this up. This was a testimonial I got this morning, so you can see it's July 28th. This was one of my queens that I just got through working with, and I'm only gonna read a little bit, so don't freak out. Can I take a moment to talk about how Sharla has helped me completely transform not only my mindset, but my life? Yes, you can, queen. Go ahead, tell them. In case you don't read until the end, I left a relationship that no longer served me. Took an epic, awesome trip by driving across the United States solo. This from a person who was too anxious to drive to the grocery store 5 minutes away. Am now on the path to making more money than I ever have. Made radical changes to my health, no meat, no alcohol, no smoking. Am treating myself better than I or anyone else ever has. Increased confidence in sales in my business, and am working happily with Sharla's 3 other coaching clients. They started a business together on a new lucrative project. All of this is 1 month after I finished her program. Yep, she's that good. Toot, toot, toot my horn, toot, toot, toot. She's empowered me to live my best life and go confidently in the direction of dreaming big. Her strength is her empathy, her vulnerability, as well as seeing others at their highest potential. Her coaching is top tier because she pulls her whole self into making sure that others can be their whole authentic best selves. So I got some more praise. If those of you who might follow Kimberly John Morgan, she's really well known on LinkedIn. She was one of my clients. Carmen, she was one of my clients. So you can check all of that out. And again, you'll have 7 months in this community. Is there anything else I want to share with you? Oh, yes, a couple things. So you will all receive a complimentary empowerment call with me. This is an opportunity for us to see about working together. So I'm going to be candid. Yes, it is a sales call. However, you will leave empowered. You will leave inspired. You'll be, even if you don't work with me, you're going to be like, huh, like I could go with that idea, or that I never thought about things like that. Like, you'll feel great after this call, and you'll get clarity and confidence. You'll get at least one piece of actionable advice. You'll get more than that, but you'll get at least one piece, and you'll get access to the self-love calendar or pleasure bingo. I didn't show you pleasure bingo. Pleasure bingo. So pleasure bingo is like a bingo board, right? B-I-N-G-O, but it's all about things that bring you pleasure. So this was just what I put in here, but when you have access to pleasure bingo, you make a copy and then you can just delete and put in whatever you want, right? You can just delete this and be like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to make something else, right? So the idea would be to print this out and then to try to like get a blackout in a week or less, right? To like try to do as many things on here that's pouring love into you. And I would even encourage you to journal on it as you go through it. And you can do this with a friend where, you know, you both have your bingo card, and you even have a competition. Like, ooh, I knocked out 6 things today. How many did you knock out, right? And the whole idea is to make kind of like self-care a joy, to make it really fun, and to be really thoughtful about what is it that you do, what do you enjoy doing, right? So maybe it's roller skating, maybe it's blowing bubbles, maybe it's, you know, hula hooping, I don't know, right? Maybe it's drawing, maybe it's rubbing shea butters, or I don't know, but like really being thoughtful, forcing yourself to kind of think about what are 25 things, is this 25 things that bring me pleasure. So that's pleasure bingo. And then the last thing I'll share with you is my upcoming events. Yay. And then I'm going to open it up if you guys want to share anything, or if you ladies want to share anything. I have 2 upcoming events. One, I have a lot of upcoming events, but as far as this Saturday, I have bipolar 6-figure business owner. If you know somebody who is neurodivergent, have them come. Right now I have 3 people signed up. I think maybe some people don't want to maybe identify as bipolar or whatever, but I really want people with neurodivergent, with depression, with ADHD, with any type of brain issue to understand it doesn't have to limit you. You just have to shape the business in a way that centers you and helps you to be well. So that is this Saturday, 5:30, I think, West Coast time. And then also I'm big about helping educators. Look, a lot of these educators are going to their summer PD right now. They are hating life. They don't know what else they can do. And the best way to be an educator is to have other options. Is the best way to have a job is not to need one. And you can be a better educator when you're not scared about getting fired. You can advocate harder for Black kids when you're not afraid, right? So I want to teach either educators how to have a lucrative side hustle, because I was Uber driving and tutoring and all this other crap. And no, screw that. You could be, you know, coaching somebody and getting paid really well. Or I want to show educators how they can pivot into becoming a consultant or a coach. That's how I had over $300,000 in contracts, because one school can be 5 to 6 figures. In a school district, that can be 6 to 7 figures. It's not hard. So I'd love to teach that. That is next Thursday on August 4th. I also have gratitude class for Black women, more self-love. I don't know. Look on Eventbrite. I have classes for y'all all the time. What are your thoughts? What are your takeaways? How are you feeling? What is going on in your world? It's your time to talk. Oh, look at all y'all. Hey, Chantel. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, all praises to y'all. I heard that. Hey, another Chantel. We got 2 Chantels. You spell it differently. Another Chantel. I had Jasmine, Keisha. What are Janet, Carla and Charlotte. Hey, Kim. Hey, Robin. Hey, Ebony. What are some of the takeaways from this time together? What are some of the things that maybe you can commit to? Oh, you talking about in the chat. Oh, take care. What are some of the takeaways? What are some of the things that maybe you can commit to? What are some of your aha moments? Because listen, some of y'all, you came in with 0s and 1s, right? When I asked you, what does your self-care look like? 0, 1, 2, your numbers were low. I'm hoping that we can change that now that we have the self-care bingo, we have the self-care calendar, and you have access to my community for 7 days with all those resources. So what is going to be different? Whose number is going up?
I guess I could speak. For me, I think the biggest takeaway is just, be your own hype man, hype woman rather, hype queen. And just to utilize your resources that are there for you, and just exhaust them, just to get yourself out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, you all have expertise. It doesn't even have to be professional expertise as far as if you want to start your business. If you've been married 30 years or even 20 years, 10 years, right? You have expertise. A lot of you, if there's some part of something that you wish you had known, right? You may have been like, things I wish I'd known as a new teacher, things I wish I'd known as a new real estate agent, right? There's so much that you can teach. And all you need to do to teach somebody is be one step ahead. One step. You don't have to have the whole thing mapped out. You don't have to have the whole curriculum, the whole website. And I just want to let y'all know that you don't need all the things. Start before you're ready. Start before you're ready. You don't know what you can do until you try. I didn't think I could make 6 figures. I didn't know that was a possibility. I can make 6 figures on my own. I always thought I had to go find me a 6-figure job and beg somebody to take me on, right? And be abused, mistreated, because generally If they're paying you 6 figures, you're worth a lot more. They're making a lot more money off of you. Whatever they're paying you is because you are a deal. They're making like 5, 10 times more than that. And so that alone should tell you that you're worthy. Whatever your job is paying you, multiply that times 10. That's what they're getting from you. What could you do on your own? And I'll say this last part as far as the business is like, I don't pour 160 hours into my business, right? That'd be 40 hours a week from, I don't do 160 hours in my business. That would drive me freaking crazy. I would be unpleasant. It's only like 25 hours over here. But if you pour that same time into yourself, into your business, that you pour into working for somebody else, your business would skyrocket. It just would. So I'm going to wrap it up, Queens. It was such a pleasure to work with y'all tonight. I hope you feel uplifted. I hope you feel better. I know somebody said in the chat they feel more encouraged than ever. That's what I'm here to do. That's why God put me here. Okay, it's blowing up now. I'm encouraged more than ever to activate my queendom. Yes, Jacqueline. Yes, Jacqueline, with your pretty picture over there. Self-care will be turned up all the way. Thanks for the candid conversation and sharing. Yeah, and the thing is, y'all, is you can center your whole business around your self-care. You can center it around your self-care. I don't start my day till 11 a.m. That's the guarantee I get enough sleep and that I have time for my walk. I have time to make my kids breakfast. It's leisure. I hate a rushed morning. I don't rush to anything. I hate that energy. So I don't start till 11 a.m. Now, if I didn't care about my self-care, I'd start way earlier because I work with international clients. I got clients on the East Coast. That means they can't talk to me till 2 p.m. So be it. Right? That's what I need. That's what I need. I center my business around my self-care. The early birds can find another coach. It ain't no big deal, right? It ain't no thing. I don't have to serve everybody, but I need to serve me. So yes, my number will definitely go up. I'm going to use your resource, prioritize myself. Okay, Ebony, I heard you say it. I'm gonna look for you now. Jasmine, I'm going to check out the website on my own time. I was in another meeting and didn't want to miss this. No problem, but I'm glad to check this out and finally see where I can blossom. Thank you for offering this, Miss Charlotte, Mrs. Charlotte. Have a wonderful evening. You're all going to get the recording. If you missed part of it, don't worry. It's going to be available to you. What is your website? I don't really have a website. All my websites suck, but I'm another example, though, of how you don't need a website because I don't really have a website. I don't really have a website. I have a YouTube channel. I have a LinkedIn. I have things of that nature, but I don't have a website. So yeah, I like I said, I don't have a website, but I am living proof. You don't need a website, y'all. You don't need a website. You need clients, okay? You need clients. I ain't got a website, but I got clients. I got money in the bank, right? So you don't need that. But if you want more information, the way you get more information about what it is I do is we book a call. We get on a phone call and we see if it makes sense for us to work together. But that's generally the only way you can get information is booking a call. So there you go. Yeah, I didn't say it, Jasmine. So what you will receive. Oh, let me drop that link. Let me give you the link right now. 2 things I will offer you. If you're able to book your call in the next like 4 hours, you will get another opportunity to work with me where I will help you craft your irresistible offer. So if you're thinking about, how could I start a business? How could I do this? I can help you craft your irresistible offer and price it. Because I know for a lot of people that is challenging. And I'm going to give you the link right now so that you can access my community. Is it? Yeah, is it? Why can't I get you? Where is what I need? All right, so there is your link for you to be able to access the community. And for those of you who are interested in booking a call, I'll get you that link too. And again, if you can book a call for the next 4 hours, you will get access to a session with me where I will help you create your irresistible offer and price it. Because I know a lot of people really have a hard time with pricing. And that is generally where Black women especially leave money on the table, is with pricing. So I'll get that up in just a moment. Are there any more questions while we're waiting? So there you go. So that's the link. You can book a call with me. We can talk about whether or not it makes sense to work together. This is the link in order for you to in order to access Divine Black Goddess. And Queens, I just want you to understand that your self-care is a non-negotiable. You are the original woman on planet Earth. We need you. As other Black women, we need you. Your clients need you. You need you. If you need permission to take care of yourself, this is your permission. I'm going to end this with one of my favorite things to do, which is give myself a hug. I encourage you, if you want to open your camera, or you can, but if not, if you want to keep your camera off, that's fine. But hug yourself, especially when you have a bad day, a hard day, when things are challenging. Just take time to love on you. And if you do this for 30 seconds, you'll get a dose of oxytocin. Well, not oxytocin. Yeah, oxytocin. Which is the love hormone, and you'll feel more loved, you'll feel more cared about. So those times where I'll hug myself, I'll kiss myself, and then I'll just say nice things to me, like, Sharla, you're so funny. Like, I love how soft your skin is. You make a really great, scrambled eggs, right? Just whatever it is, you just pour into me. And I did this with my coaching clients, and we all just felt so uplifted afterwards. So I encourage y'all to just really love on you. You are an amazing person. You're so deserving. And your hugs should matter as much as anybody else's. They should be just as relevant as anybody else's. I love y'all. Take great care of yourself. I look forward to speaking with you. You'll get an email from me with this recording, and you can continue to take great care of yourselves and hopefully build your queendom. Bye. If you don't mind unmuting yourself and saying bye, that'd be great. Bye.
Thank you.
Love y'all, queens. Take great care of yourselves.